All right, good morning, guys. It's currently September 8th, 2025, and I wanted to give you guys some tips on how to live in your Tesla, like I'm doing right here. I've been living in my Tesla for about a year and a half now, and I wrote some stuff down, and I wanted to give you guys like perspective on like how I think and stuff, and yeah, pretty much how I started living in a car and all that, and the background and the story. Okay, so my parents actually put me in the Boy Scouts when I was about maybe fifth grade, sixth grade, maybe fifth grade. I learned at a very young age how to like live on the land. The motto there was be prepared. I grew up in that sense of like hunter and gatherer mindset. And so I was actually the quartermaster, which was basically the person who takes in charge. And keep in mind, I was like 7 or 8 years old. I took care of inventory of like pots, pans, fridge items, and food. And that's where I learned like how to tent camp. Like we would go on these 2-week tent camping trips, and it would be really fun. I really enjoyed it when I was little. And then my parents were actually not your typical Filipino parents. My parents are truck drivers, and they were truck drivers for 8 years. They recently just retired. They like inspired me to kind of like go from state to state because they did the same thing. And they're not the typical, go be a nurse, or, you have to be strict on everything like that in that sense. And I chose the different route. I believe that if you're different, it's a good thing. If I were to ask myself if I were gonna do this all over again, I just had like to give myself advice, this is what it would be. So my number one tip for Tesla car living would be like where to sleep. And I didn't know this in the beginning, that you can basically sleep in hotel parking lots, and it's been a real good thing that I've been doing it. I haven't gotten the knock recently, although I did get the knock when I was in Montana. That was when I was car camping, and then my trunk was actually my exit point, and then there was a guy changing out the trash, and he basically caught me sleeping in the hotel parking lot, told me to leave. As long as you're exiting the vehicle from the driver's seat, you'll be okay, because that's normal. If you're exiting from the trunk or the passenger seat, they see your bed frame or bed setup, then it's all bad, right? Neighborhood fence lines have been actually a really good thing, because neighborhood fence lines, they're not in front of somebody's house. It's like in front of somebody's house, but it's on the fence line, so no one's really actively like, hey, that's my spot, right? Business lots have been a hit or miss. Business lots, sometimes I'll get the knock from a subscriber or homeless people peeking through my quarter glass, which has happened. So be careful with business lots. If you're gonna do it, make sure that you see like signs of like no hobos around, and make sure there's no graffiti, barbed wire. Those are like red flags to look for if you're gonna car camp in a business lot. Okay, so tip number 2 is gonna be like hygiene. Shower and bathroom, right? So where are you gonna go shower? Where are you gonna go to the bathroom in the middle of the night? So my number 2 tip would be like find a centralized hub for your home setup. Since you're not having a house or an apartment, I've been using Google Maps. I've been pinning stuff on the Google Maps, and when you're able to do that, it makes it a lot easier. I always have a few things in the vicinity all the time, and which is your gym, your sleep spot, your work area, and then a charging spot for your Tesla if you do have one. And then this is a bonus one. If there is a laundromat around, that'd be cool, because you could do your laundry there. But I do laundry every like 10 days to 2 weeks. I would use Anytime Fitness, and a couple of videos I have out here. Anytime Fitness has been my centralized one, because you get to lock the door behind you, and it's super easy because you don't have things like Planet Fitness where it's an open gym shower concept and you have like the curtains only. The work area, I'm gonna make sure that I have a Panera Bread or a library nearby, so that way I'm able to work on my YouTube channel, which I do full time, and that's how I make money on the road and sponsors on the channel. Make sure you have all that like as your centralized hub. It's cool because you don't have to pay rent, and not paying rent is fun. I haven't paid rent for about a year, so. All right, guys, so we are in Florida, and we're out here with the Portal Outdoors table and chair. And yeah, thank you guys for 73,000 subscribers. Appreciate all the love and support. It's been a long journey. And yeah, so this is the Portal Outdoors table and chair. If you guys want to get this thing, you could take it literally anywhere to a campsite, or you could take your work outdoors on a ocean beach in Florida or anything like that. And yeah, you can relax and stuff. Yeah, I enjoy having this table and chair. I've been taking it all around the US. I've actually taken this table and chair to Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and it's been with me all the time in my roof box. And I could take my digital nomad work when I do my YouTube outdoors. And yeah, it helps you pretty much get inspired and be outdoors and stuff. So if you guys wanna get this table and chair, head to the link in the description. Use my discount code Nico at checkout. And yeah, don't be jealous. Okay, we got tip number 3, which is gonna be climate control, how to use it. I will show you guys on the screen, basically on how to use climate control. It can run your AC all night, and it takes around maybe 8% if you're using it on low, and then sometimes upwards to 14% per night if you're in humid climates like in Florida, which I'm in right now. Okay, so say you have your Tesla and you want to run climate control. So on the bottom left, you can press it, and then I have it on auto. You're gonna make sure it's on auto, and then these 2 fans are blowing. And yeah, you can have it on low and on keep mode. So when you have it on keep mode, it keeps the climate on, and you can have your sentry mode, which is on the top, and that's gonna make sure that your car cameras are on while you're sleeping. And if you want to adjust it, obviously go up and down. And I keep it at 69 degrees all night. I never use camp mode right here because it turns off your car cameras. So you see the red button disappeared. So the red button disappeared because it's in camp mode. So when you put on keep mode, it'll keep the car cameras on. Again, you got that red button turning on. Okay, we do have the camera options. So if you want to go to the camera on the bottom left, you can. And that will give you car cameras from the left fender, the right fender, and the back, which is cool because when you're sleeping, this can stay on and you're able to see who's outside without having to peer. Okay, another helpful tip, we're gonna go to the main homepage, which is on the bottom left, and we're gonna press the search settings. We're gonna press camera, and then the first thing that pops up is camera preview. So once you press that, it's gonna say live stream is not saved or transmitted. You're gonna wait a couple seconds. And so now you can see the main cabin, which we're recording in right now. And then we got the main, which is the very front. Left door pillar, so you can see on the left side who's there. Left fender, so you could see pretty much a 360 view. Right fender, or sorry, right door pillar, right fender is gonna be back there. And then the rear view and a full big screen. I do have my back windows tinted actually. So a couple of you guys, so you could kind of see like this is tinted, and that's definitely tinted too as well. So having tint, I think it's almost limo tint. I haven't gotten pulled over for it, but you can't even see in the back window when you're outside. Okay, and you're gonna have to have these if you're car camping, car living. These are shades, so these effectively go in the front window for the left and the right. And then we do have our back window ones, which is gonna give you privacy so no one can see inside the car. So let me show you how good the tint is. Like, you can't even see through that. Yeah. All right, Amazon link in the description, but I like these because they fold down, and when you want to expand them, they fold to the right, and you're just gonna place it there like that, and you have privacy window curtains. There are a few gaps here and there, but you can close them up. Yeah. Oh. And so with these shade curtains, I just close it, and then yeah, you pretty much can't see inside that car. So at night, I'll pretty much have those. When you open it up, it falls down all the time, and you just gotta catch it. Okay, so this is the back of my Tesla and the rear seats. So that EcoFlow power bank has a double prong right here. And once it gets hooked up, it powers that fan right there. Okay, and yeah, the keep climate mode only stays on if you have 20% or more. If it reaches below 20%, it will effectively cut off the power to your fridge, which is plugged in the 12 volt, and it will cut off the climate control because of safety for battery. So the climate control was a big deal breaker for me when I was purchasing another vehicle, when I was in a Honda Civic hatchback 2017 before this car. And I literally was like, I'm getting this car, the Tesla, because it has climate control, because it was so freezing at night. And this kind of makes it like a capsule hotel, because you can run the AC all night or the heating all night. And you ever see the ones in the Japanese ones where they're just in a pod and like, you know, it costs super cheap just to sleep there? Well, this is the same concept. That's what I thought of it. Tip number 4 is power management. And what do I use for power? So it's going to be 2 external power banks. It's going to be the EcoFlow and the Blue Eddy. So the EcoFlow is going to power the fan that I have in the car, because that helps when I sweat. And let me show you guys the external battery bank that I got. It's called the Blue Eddy. And this powers my cook setup. So I have a stove that's electric, and I also have a microwave, which this can do 2 minutes and it drains like 1 to 2% battery, which is insane. And so I use this a lot. Aye. This is what I mean. Save money. Cook in the back of your car. And then you're probably gonna ask me, Nico, where do you charge the power banks? Well, you could go to your cafe if you're doing remote work already, right? Panera Bread, or if you're outside in a library, or you could go into a gym and then charge it there while you're working out or while you're showering. So there's multiple ways to find free power while you're out doing your errands. Okay, so tip number 5 is gonna be organization. Beautiful morning. Wow. Okay, so in my frunk, I have my packing cubes. Man, look at that. Okay. So this is my frunk. I do have a light here held by Velcro. So when I'm trying to look for stuff, you get it at Home Depot. And then, so this is my packing cubes. I have everything rolled. So everything gets rolled in. And so this is actually a realistic view of how everything looks. And so I'll have like everything bundled up right here. So always roll your clothes. It's like a van life tip number 101. So that way there's more room. Also have a laundry bag that's enclosed, almost like waterproof, so it doesn't stink up the rest of your clothes. All my hygiene stuff. And then like these are all my shorts. So they're like file folders, and you want to make sure, yeah, everything is rolled. When you do your laundry, it's very, very, very therapeutic when you're doing laundry, because it just makes you feel clean. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of space inside the frunk because there is no engine and it's full electric. Someone thought I was actually in a breakdown because I was looking at my Tesla like this. They didn't know that there was no engine in the front. Kind of funny. I was in the parking lot. Another organization tip would be to use Ziploc bags and not like so like bins. Do not use bins. Use bags. because bags are malleable, meaning they can compress and they can fit into tiny corners like so, but this one cannot. And yeah, don't use bins, use bags. All right, tip number 6 is gonna be Tesla car camping safety. If you're gonna car camp like in the city, avoid the business lots and stick to hotel parking lots. Always look for permits. So if you have a permitted parking lot that's in a hotel, it's gonna be very obvious because you're gonna look on each car and then you're gonna see like a parking permit. So that's like rule number 1 is like, go to the next hotel parking lot so that we can see if there's any permits. So once you do find one that doesn't have permits, you're good to go. If you're gonna be parking in business lots, I highly suggest that you look for signs of danger, like the barbed wire, the graffiti, the old like brick and mortar kind of like ambiance. Like it's almost an art to find like these spots. Yeah, also ask ChatGPT where the safest neighborhoods are at in your area, so that way it searches for you, so you don't have to look for the safest neighborhoods in the area. Okay, you also want to pack a weapon, whatever it is that you need. Have something with you just in case anything goes south, because you want to stay safe while you're car camping. You never know, there's some shady people out there, and you want to make sure that you're prepared, so that way it's not if, it's a matter of when, right? So always have like something you could jab someone with and get in a quick get out. Okay, so tip number 7 is gonna be pack only what you need. You only need a very minimal stuff when you're living inside a car. And yeah, so I'm gonna talk about food, water, and basically shelter. So for water system, I always carry 2 gallons of drinking water. And this I got from Amazon. You can pretty much just search it up, but it's like a metal tin can. So that way you're not tasting plastic. This has, if I started car camping first, I would get this because you're gonna need some drinking water while you're out there, and it can stay cold, so you can go to inside a Panera Bread or whatever and put some ice in it and you'll be good to go. I also have a Dometic water pump. So this is the water pump that I have, and let's see, spits out water. It's powered by USB-C. No, it's not powered by USB-C, it's powered by USB, some other type than USB. But let me show you guys this hose I got, because it can extend. And then this is the Dometic water pump I got from REI, and it can fit about 3 liters of water. And so I'll just fill this up at the gym, or there's also water spigots even at hotels, which is crazy. And I'll use that in order to wash my dishes, or sometimes I'll take a shower with it too when I'm out in the wilderness, but it helps out when you're car camping. Okay, another hygiene tip is to have a towel just for dishes, or you know, anything to do with like cooking. And so I got this from REI. It's a quick drying towel, and it helps when you're kind of trying to car camp and just have a cleaner area. So all that hanging there. Drawer system, again, it pulls out. This is where I store all my food, so it stays at around 35 degrees. And again, it stays plugged into the 12 volt. I've actually had a lot of trouble with this thing. It turns off in the middle of the night sometimes, but I check on it very frequently, so that way when it does turn off, I'm quick to kind of just put it back in, because the plug outlet is kind of finicky. Yeah, I'll have everything from eggs to rice to even like chicken right here. And yeah, it just keeps me alive. The cool thing about that is, yeah, I just have the microwave, and I'm able to just heat up my food right here. And it's pretty convenient because it saves you money, saves you time too. So if you're like trying to go to a gas station and try to eat, like that's already like $8 for kind of like a sandwich or something, or $4, right? And you could just have a microwave, a fridge, and yeah, you could just microwave your rice or potatoes or chicken. And yeah, I used to be a bodybuilder for like a couple years, and I wish I always had a microwave in my car, so it was always a dream of mine to kind of like have this entire setup when I was a bodybuilder, because I would always like go to gas stations after gas station just to heat up food. It's annoying. And so yeah, I just got a fridge and a microwave, completely eliminated that problem. Okay, so another tip would be Tesla maintenance. And how are you gonna maintain your Tesla? Well, you're gonna use Apple Notes actually. So it's a weird thing with Apple Notes because you can track actually your tire rotations. So that way you know when your next rotation is. The reason for tire rotations is because it gives the tires even wear throughout. So that way you're not changing them really fast. Change them out, the tire rotations, change them out and swap them every 6,000 miles. We're gonna go to battery care. So leave your Tesla 20 to 80%. The reason for this is because you don't want to go too low in your Tesla because below 20%, because one, it shuts off the climate control and the fridge, but also it degrades the battery faster if you put it below 20% too often. If you do put it over 80% also, it's overcharging the car. Only do it once in a while. They say that if you have the NMC battery, not the LFP battery, but the NMC battery means that if you charge over 80% too often, you're gonna degrade the battery faster. Cabin air filter changes. I forgot what specific mileage you need. I'll probably put it up here. But cabin air filter changes, you have to have those swapped out too as well. I did it myself and it was a pain in the butt. So I would highly suggest going to the service center and do it. I do have a video out there for maintenance costs. It cost me around $8,000 for 2 years of Tesla ownership. And I put that on the channel earlier. So take a look at that video. All right, tip number 9 would be that, man, this is a very, very lonely lifestyle. My first few months when I started living in the Tesla, I wanted to quit and I wanted to go back to normal working world life and all that. But, like anything, Miyamoto Musashi says this, like anything in life, anything that you do at first is difficult at first. Think about like you riding a bike or even walking, right? Like you first start to crawl and then you walk and then you jog and then you run, right? It's a slow progression. But anything that you try at first is always difficult. And I had to get that mindset in me because my first 3 to 6 months, it was really hard. It was lonely. I was doing this by myself and I still am doing it by myself. And you just get used to it, right? And this one content creator literally told me, just deal with the loneliness. And it was kind of like a mindset shift where I was like, okay, I'll just listen to that. And so maybe this is just to give to you guys is if you're doing this for a long time, maybe a few months, and you're having this downturn, right? Of oh, I don't know if I can do this. Just deal with it, man. Find stuff to do, find a community, go on YouTube, find people that are doing this too as well. There's people out there doing it. It's really hard to find them, but they are out there. Forgot to show you guys. So this is my toaster, and this is the one pan that I have. You want to have one pan for everything. So that means cooking spaghetti, one pan for frying stuff. I don't have double of everything. I just have one of everything. We also have a kettle and a rice cooker because we're Asian and we're Filipino. Salamat po. I've recently been taking up my Tagalog. Malamig sa labas, mahinit sa loob, isa dalawa tatlo apat lima. It's counting in Tagalog. So I'm Filipino by heritage, and yeah, I'm going to the Philippines actually in December. So we're gonna be in the motherland. I haven't been since I was 3 years old, guys. So, and I spent 6 months in the Philippines, and I learned at a very young age that you don't need much. We were doing showers. They call it tabo tabo. So you take a shower with a bucket, basically, and there would always be floods and stuff, and it would always be humid. This climate right now is humid, but I'm kind of in my element right now where I'm oh, this is pretty normal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, guys, the last and final tip is tip number 10, which is know your why. Why are you doing this? What is the reason for this? For me, personally, it was to save money and travel. And I was able to do that because I was doing YouTube full time, which is right here. I get paid by doing the videos and the brand collaborations and all that. But my why was always to save money and to see other things and see different landscapes and new things every single day. I hate being stuck inside one spot for like more than a few days, and I gotta keep moving and like seeing different things. And that's that feeling of freedom, because you don't have rent to pay, you don't have utilities to pay, like you don't have all these things weighing your budget down. And so when you take off rent, you take off utilities, take out sewer, water, garbage, electricity, all of that is so annoying. And then like, you know, you just have all these things stack on top of each other, and you remove it, it kind of makes it more freeing. And you know, if you try out this lifestyle, living in a Tesla, you know, or living in a car, it's gonna be pretty fun, but it does get lonely. But hey, you know, you only live once, man. Okay, so anyways, thank you guys for watching. We are in Florida right now. We're headed to TeslaCon, Florida in Orlando, September 12th. So if you want to be there, go ahead. If not, you'll be square. No, just kidding. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate the love and support. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe, and watch the other videos that I have on the channel. I'll put it right here, wherever it's at. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.